Welcome. So today's session is going to be a little bit different. I want to propose a new course. It's something that I'm really interested in building for music tech student, but what we do these days is we actually vote on the courses that you guys want. So nothing gets built unless it gets enough votes to kind of go through the process. So I'm going to propose, I've got a few slides so that you kind of can have a little look at it. And if you like what I'm proposing, give me a thumbs up on this video and I will add that to the vote for this course. And I'll show you where all that goes. Anyone can vote on this course, even if you're not a music tech student subscriber. And we just want to see who's interested in this. And obviously, if we get down votes, then that will go against what we're trying to do here. But it doesn't matter. We just want your opinion. And also, if you have any feedback for this course and you think, actually, this could be good for this course, it'd be good to know as well. So the proposed course is an assessment system for music tech student or A-level music tech student. The idea being is that in the past, we built a system using Excel and using mail merge, and it was okay, but in the end, it just took far too long. I used it for 1 year or even 6 months, and it was like, oh, this is just hard work. And then we went back to the old ways of kind of, well, it's not even funny actually. And I get completely frustrated with assessment and reporting every single year because I want something that is fast. I want something that the students have complete access to. I want something that their parents have complete access to. So there's no hidden elements. And if you were part of the last specification, and what would happen is they'd get all the way through the first year, and by the end of it, it's like, why is my student getting this part? And a lot of that, why is not my student, why is my kid getting this grade when really they deserve this grade? And I truly believe that one of the parts of this is that the assessment and reporting isn't consistent enough. The feedback isn't getting to the students quick enough, and they're not able to reflect on this. So over the last, I don't know, almost 2 years, probably closer to 3 years actually, I've been developing a system. I've completely dumped out the Excel stuff because I know I get emails, why have you not built the Excel one, the mail merge one, we really want to use it. And I've completely dumped that out now, it's gone. And instead I've replaced it with a better system, a more streamlined system, something that takes care of every part of the process and allows us to give feedback, grades, reporting on an almost weekly basis. And it does take a little bit of time, but it's streamlined. I mean, depending on if I have to listen to the student's audio, I can pretty much mark a piece of work within 30 seconds and I can get my cohort of 16 to 20 students back to them every week within an hour easily, mostly within half an hour. And unlike the last system, it allows us to hand in work as well, and it also allows us to kind of reflect on what's happening and give deadlines and on an almost weekly basis. Now, a lot of you have got your own system, but this one is by far my favorite, and I've tried. I literally every single time, every year, I'm trying a new reporting system. But this one is amazing. So it's called Google Classrooms, and I'm sure you've all used it. But what we're doing is something quite special, and it allows us to reuse the content. It allows us to put our own mark schemes up. It allows us to do so much with it. And well, I've gone on enough. If you like this content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to try and give more. The actual proposed course will only be available for teachers that subscribe to music tech students, so just keep that in mind as well. Although we are going to give resources just for this course that can be reused. So if you signed up for 1 year, you would have these resources forever and you'll be able to reuse them and add to them, and they're so flexible. So let's move over to the presentation and let's get this thing done. So what we have here, and as I said before, we want to get the best possible grade for our students based on their own ability. So not every student is going to get that A, not every student is going to get the B, but we want to make sure that we are clear about the grade that they're going to get from the off and the direction that we can give them to try and do better. And as I said before, assessment drives me crazy. It absolutely does, because we have to do this, and I genuinely want to do a fantastic job of this. I'm not looking, I want my students and their parents to feel comfortable that I'm doing a good job and that we can, at every step of the way, we can say, look, they're doing this because of this piece of work, and they can look back at it as well. So this is what we've got planned. If we were to make an assessment system, what would it need to be included? So if you have things that you think it should include in it, just give us a comment on our YouTube channel, or even a comment to our help desk, just to give us some feedback on what you would like included. I'm going to tell you what's going to be included in this course now. So the first thing, and the most obvious thing, is marking students' work. It needs to be quick. On average, unless you've got a piece of audio that you need to look at, it needs to be well under 30 seconds per student, and it needs to be done on a regular basis. So you need to be able to give feedback on a regular basis. It needs to be consistent, it needs to be effortless, and it needs to be returned quickly. Also included in that feedback is parents need access to it, and the good thing about the Google Classroom is parents can have access to that. They can log into their kids' account and they can have access to that. The next thing is keeping records. So if I'm giving feedback every week, I need to make sure that those records are kept in some kind of spreadsheet so I can get an average grade over it. So if every piece of work that I give back is reflected against the grade boundaries, so for instance, if it's fail all the way through to A star, and each one of those is given a number, I need to be able to take that and give it a calculation and then give a rough estimate of the overall grade. And the good thing about Google Classroom is it does that. In one click, we can have a spreadsheet completed for us with every single bit of work in. And as long as you're consistent with your marking, and as long as you're giving your feedback, you can give it straight away, and you can look up any student to make sure they're handing in work as well. Another thing that my students are pretty rubbish at is sticking to a deadline. So when I give out a Google assessment, I can actually date it as well and say, look, it's due on this date. If it's not due on this date, I'm going to diminish your mark, because you're basically telling me you're not willing to keep to a deadline, which means you're going to cause me loads of hassle at the end. So that's another great thing, is when we keep a record, we can also see if they've met the deadline, and I can penalize them if they don't meet the deadline. I can also reward them if they meet the deadline and they do a good job of their work as well, and they submit it exactly the way I want it to. Students can monitor their own work. You can look at individual students at the click of a button. This is great for Parents' Evening, because obviously you've got these Privacy Protection Acts involved now. So really you only want to be bringing up one student at a time. At my school, we're not allowed to take in a spreadsheet into Parents' Evening anymore. So in Google, you have this one button click where you can actually just look at one student, and you can show the parents how to access the information that you have, and you can show them all the grades and what they've missed, and you can really have an open dialogue. And this is what's important about any system, is you have to have an open dialogue. There's none of this hidden elements. Oh, I think this about the student. No, if you think that about a student, you need to tell them. And that's what I'm really aiming for with this new system as well, in this new course. So open dialogue, teachers, the school, student support, students, parents, everyone needs to be involved. And at the click of a button, if someone sends me an email, if student support sends me an email and said, look, why have you given this student a negative event? And I can back that up every step of the way. And that's the marks of a good system. So what are we going to include in this? So firstly, we're going to split this up into two courses. The first course is how to set up a Google Classroom, and most of you right now, you're going, oh, that's really simple. But over the last 2 years, I've developed a really good system for making sure that every single year I can reuse that work. I can, rather than every year having to upload the assignment, which so many people do, I've got a system that kind of just allows you to reuse it at the click of a button. Every week, the new assignment comes available and you can reuse it, and it's amazing. So the first thing is I'm going to show you in probably about 8 steps how, from start to finish, how I kind of collect information, how I assign information, the grade boundaries that I give, all the way through to the reporting. So making sure that everything's there, and show you that this is a really good system. And if you want consistency and you want to show your students that you can kind of give them all this information and show them how to progress, this is going to be a great one for you. The next one is we're going to create some resources just for this course. And anyone that's used Google Classroom in the past knows that it has to be laid out in a certain way. And it's not a very visual way. So we've kind of come up with a system that every single assignment is based on a single layout. It makes it easy to read, and you can give them flipped learning assignments as well. So you can actually say, before the next class, you've got to watch this video ready for this, or you've got to fill in this particular form. And one of the things we're looking at, this part isn't built yet, but is looking at Google Forms. So we're going to share all of our Google Forms. And we're going to do these as starters so that every lesson or every assignment, they have a starter before we move into the lesson. And the starter will reflect the flipped learning experience. And it will tell me if they've watched the video, which is so important. So many of them just don't watch the video. So yeah, once again, we've got this system as well. We're going to look at the assessment. I'm going to show you how to calculate all the assessments, show you how to work out the grade boundaries so that you can actually give them accurate reporting. It's a big system. Once again, if you like this, give us a thumbs up and we'll build it. And I just said it's a big system, but actual fact, it's one of the easiest systems once it's all set up that I've ever seen to use. So finally, I keep saying this, if you're interested in this, give us a thumbs up. The more votes we get, the more chance you will have of building this. All votes or all thumbs up must be in before the 15th of August. And our aim is to have it ready, or at least the first part of it ready, by the beginning of September. So you can start uploading the resources and start using it. It will be a full scheme of work as well, which will be fantastic. So that's pretty much it. Let's just head on over to the website just very, very quickly and just show you where we're at with this. So every year we build new courses. Hold on, let me just refresh my browser. There we go. Every year we build new courses, and the year before last we started only building courses that you guys were interested in. All too often in the past we've built stuff and it's gone down like a lead balloon. It's like, well, why are you building that? We really want to see this. So this year, before the 15th of August, every single year, you have a chance to vote on what you want or tell us what you want. You can email us, you can get in contact with us however you want, and we'll add your vote to this system. So for September 1920, this is the current proposed, and you'll notice that they're all very low votes at the moment, and these will go up over the summer holidays. We tend to get quite a few votes for courses, but this is what we've got, and we're not funded all of them yet. We've got a few that are funded that we definitely need. So every year we build these lead sheets. We've already started building the revision sessions for component 3, although that's taken a little longer than we wanted to. And we've already started building lesson plans. Now as we go through, you'll notice that there's practice papers that's not been funded yet, so it depends on how many votes it gets on whether it'll get funded or not. Same with the revision sessions for component 4. It doesn't seem like something you guys want at the moment, but hopefully that might change. Component 2 for A level, we do this every year, but I've looking at the amount of people that actually look at this course, I'm not sure whether we're going to build this again this year. We've got 4 votes at the moment, so it's high up there. A recording 101 course, a mixing 101 course, a mastering 101 course, and then finally a composing course. These are all the ones that are getting voted on at the moment. So normally we can only build 10 a year. That's kind of what our budgets allow for. But we do have a stretch goal. In the last couple of years we have met our stretch goals as well. So currently we have a history and development course that one person's voted for, musical styles and listening course that 2 people have voted for, some mind maps, and then the knowledge check, which needs updating. We've still got courses that are being finished off as well. So we've got 2 more lesson plans from this course, this recording course, and then we've got 2 more lessons from the sampling course that still needs to be uploaded. They've been made, they just need to be finished off. So this year, if you look through, we've built and delivered you a modulation course, EQ and filtering, dynamic processing, Ableton 10 MIDI, audio, dubstep course. We've done so much. We've also started looking at Pro Tools. A few schools are using Pro Tools first to get their Key Stage 3 and 4 students going. So we've included the Pro Tools. We will look at Pro Tools first, but at the moment we're just looking at the stuff that you can use in your A level. You're more than welcome to have a look at this, and once again, all of these are going to get finished off. They've already built, we just got to upload them, but they'll all be ready for September, which is great. And you can see what else is. The last time we did a teacher training course, which was 2017-18, we had over 400 votes. So, it can get up. And if you want to see this course, vote for it. So let's head back and let's just finish this off. This has gone on for 14 odd minutes already, but I am quite passionate about this and I would love to build it. But it will only happen if you guys vote for it. So if you vote for it, it will get built, and it'd be great to hear from you guys on anything else you want. It'd also be great to hear from you guys if you already use Google Classrooms. So thanks for listening. Sorry it went on for a bit too long, but it'll be a great project, and it will really lead us into the next phase of this A-level course. So I'll see you in the next one.